railroad crossing accidents. It became too common in the USA. Many people disregarded the railroad crossings and drove around the gates or just flat out ignored them. While some did it successfully, most of them... yeah, ended in a bad result, with your vehicle damaged, being charged, and either injured or even resulted in death. While most people did it in their own vehicles, how about school buses? Yep, there are people that does the same. This time, this regarding both children's safety and railroad crossing safety, and that's what happened in Florida recently. Let's talk about what happened at Sumter County, Florida. On April 7th, a clip went viral on the internet. Yep, you're seeing this live. Someone on the school bus was filming the kids screaming while a CSX manifest train was passing by, close to them with the captions, "What happened this week? IDK, learn on age riding a bus again." But seeing as nothing is wrong, as it's just kids screaming as the train passed by, people just clown them for overreacting. What a messed up world we live in. That is, until a day later, another witness filmed what happened outside of the bus and uploaded on the internet. The video shows the rear of the bus was dangling on the tracks while the crossings were activated. The bus driver, Yvonne Hampton, drove the bus out of the train's path mere seconds before the train suddenly collided with the bus, going into emergency. That's why the children screamed inside the bus. 29 kids were on board the bus at the time of the accident. Luckily, no one was hurt, but parents of the kids were outraged of what happened. As a result, Hampton was arrested and was charged with 29 counts of child neglect, neglections, and reckless driving. The people that clown these kids may have their mouths zipped up and regretted what they said. Shame on them. Hampton was driving for the Sumter County School District for 2015 and never had an incident regarding a railroad crossing until now. Taking a look at the footage, her bus was stuck behind the car when the crossings went off, and when the car pulled, she did the same before the train's arrival. But that wasn't the case. She is now fired from her job, and most parents are relieved she was. One of the kids made a statement about this incident. 12-year-old Cheyenne Gantz said how she didn't move when the kids were yelling train, and it's a very scary moment. She's not wrong, and her parents might agree. With those informations, let's glue the pieces together and try to understand the incident a little bit better event by event. So it's around 2 p.m. School is done and the teens are heading home. 29 kids were on board the bus Hampton was driving and a regular ordeal. By then, she stopped behind the car on top of a railroad crossing. The railroad crossings activated and the CSX manifest train came into view. The passengers or the kids were yelling at Hampton about the oncoming train while the engineer blew the horn frantically, praying for the bus to get out of the way. But for some stupid reason, she didn't listen to them, like they didn't exist. But when the car in front of her moved, she did the same just in time before the freight train clipped the end of the bus. The kids were screaming and crying, and that's when one of the passengers filmed what happened while the train went into emergency. 911 calls were made and help arrived at the scene, doing their usual duties. Hampton was arrested, charged, and fired on the spot while the kids went home safely to their parents by the time when they heard what happened. Now, I want to give my personal thought on this incident. When I first saw this clip on Instagram, I was emotionless, but seeing news about it, it made me question, are school bus drivers really responsible for kids' safety, even at railroad crossings? It seems here, no lessons were taught after what happened in 1972, 1995, and 2000. More info will be shown by Thunderbolt. Click these 3 videos after this one. You couldn't imagine the sheer horror on both the kids and the CSX crew had when they saw each other. While the kids were screaming and crying in fear, both the CSX crew might be traumatized by the whole ordeal. They almost hit a school bus, all because of Hampton's negligence. It really makes you think about who hired these people that doesn't care about both railroad crossings and kids' safety, and why are they even hired in the first place. Some school bus drivers just doesn't give a F about the kids, and will do anything to make them shut up or ignore them whenever there's something wrong. But this takes the cake. It's a relief Hampton is never driving school buses again, but after what happened, some kids might be traumatized and might never want to ride a school bus ever again. Nowadays, parents are skeptical letting a stranger drive in a school bus with their kids as to some incidences including school bus drivers. One of them being drivers not letting their kids off the bus because they were too loud, and even tried to drive off with them inside. CSX has yet to make a statement about this incident, but seeing as they're not at fault, it's unlikely they will. But if they do, I'll make a follow-up video. Same thing with the school district. And that's about it. This incident is new and not much info has yet to be revealed, but seeing as a small incident, it's likely news media will continue on about this incident, but we'll wait if more info comes out. Anyways, that's it for the video, and if you drive in the mainland, listen to Operation Lifesaver.
This was only a simulation of a highway-railway crossing accident. Don't let this become a reality. Look, listen, and live.